In this slide, I'm going to show you in more detail why unsaturated fatty acids have one or more double bonds. So in this, to make it much more clear. So an example of an unsaturated fatty acids are the olive oil, and this is oleic acid. And here, this graphic representation, they show you this is the glycerol, and here you have the fatty acids, and these are saturated. However, this one in orange is unsaturated because it has this double bond. And as you can see in this space filling model of the oleic acid, there is a bending here due to the cis double bond. So first thing that I told you that I want that you remember is that unsaturated fatty acids have one or more double bonds. In this case, it was only one, but this is enough to call it unsaturated. The second thing I want that you see is that here is the double bond. Yeah, all of them are saturated except this one, but this double bond causes something. It causes a bending. Cis double bond causes a bending. And finally, the third thing that I show you is this space filling model of an oleic acid that is an unsaturated fatty acid. And this is a way to represent fatty acid that is used to show phospholipid and cell membranes. Now we're going to talk about fats that are saturated. And remember, when they are saturated, they have no double bonds. So, and here we have again our example of the ester links, the glycerol and the fatty acid. And here you don't see any double bonds. And the butter is an example of a saturated fatty acid because you don't see any double bond. And here you have the space filling model of an esteric acid that is a fatty acid because it has no double bonds. Now in this slide, I'm going to compare the unsaturated and the saturated fats. And I'm not going to not only talk about the chemical structure, but also about other topics. So for example, the effect on human health. So an example of an unsaturated fat is the olive oil, and an example of a saturated fat is butter. And most of the animal fats, unfortunately, are saturated, while the plant fats and the fish fats are usually unsaturated. So I don't know if you have ever cooked bacon. If you have cooked bacon, you don't clean the pot right away. You can see that a few minutes later, when it cools down, the pot has a white layer that is smell delicious, but it look gross, and all of that will be fat. So this is an example of saturated fat, and the saturated fats are solid at room temperature, while the unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature. Unfortunately, although they are delicious, a diet rich in a saturated fat may contribute to cardiovascular diseases through deposits of plaques in your circulatory system. On the other hand, the unsaturated cannot be synthesized in our body, so it needs to be supplied by the diet. So, main idea, if you want to live long, you have to eat this one. This will not make you very happy. Yeah, so unfortunately, we have to try to start eating more of this ones. No matter if these ones are delicious, this one will help us to have a long life. So again, I make two silly cartoons. Why? Because there is a process. You remember that we were talking that if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you should eat unsaturated fats, while too much saturated fats are bad for your health. So there is a chemical process during the food industry that can turn unsaturated fat into saturated fats. And this is a process called hydrogenation. And it allows to take the unsaturated fats and convert them into saturated fats by adding a hydrogen. So if you see this here, this unsaturated fat, you can add a hydrogen, replace a hydrogen, and turn it into saturated. So the food industry was doing that. Now it seems to be banned in many countries, and it hopefully will continue being banned. Now we will talk about the function of the lipids and the fats. So I want that you compare these cells to this one. These ones, second ones are from a normal person, and this one are from a person that is overweight. And here you can see that the number of cells, there is not a lot of changes in the number of cells. The main difference is that these one are storing much more fats. And this is an epidemic, possibly all over the world, turning into a terrible health crisis. And normally, in a normal condition, are located in your body because they work as a pillow. So if you see here, they can work as a pillow for body organs and also work as an insulation for temperature. In humans, they are called adipose cells. Adipose tissue are not only in human, but in all vertebrates. So the major function of lipids are as an energy store. They can have multiple functions, but this is possibly the main function. As I said before, there is a tissue that is called the adipose tissue, and the fats will help to work as a pillow for vital organs and also insulate the body. And the last thing that I said, the third thing that I said in this slide, is that human and other mammal store their fats in adipose cells.